Alright, today we're working with amplitude, period, phase shift, and vertical shift. So we're going to go over problem number 3 step by step to give you guys an idea of what I'm expecting you to do. Okay, like how do you start a problem? That's the main thing. Alright, if you know how to start it, you're more likely to finish it. So step number 1, this is what I'm going to do. Number 1, I'm going to start every single time I personally start with the vertical shift. Okay? So right now, step number 1, if you're going to write in your journal, start with the vertical shift. So if we look right here, I'm going to write y equals a sine b theta minus c plus d. Okay. So my a value is 2. My b value, how many thetas do I have? I just have 1. My c value is actually going to be a negative pi over 2, and my d value is negative 3. So I've identified A, B, C, and D. Now, the only part that you might be confused on, you might okay, A makes sense, there's the A value. B, that makes sense, there's one of them. C might be a little confusing, because C says, I told you it was negative pi over 2, but up here it says what? Plus. Right, so in the formula, right here, in the formula it says what? It says minus your C value. So if I grab this guy right here, I grabbed him, and took him and plugged him in right there, what's going to happen to those negatives? Turn to a positive. Okay, that's why I did that. And then the D value is just whatever this number is at the end. So make sure you are able to identify A, B, C, and D. So now I'm going to start with my vertical shift. What's my vertical shift? What is my D value equal to? Negative 3. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to take and draw in my vertical shift line. So right here, y equals negative 3. That's the very first thing that I'm going to draw. All right, step number 2. Step number 2, what I like to identify is I like to identify the amplitude. Okay? And my A value, I'm going to scroll down a little bit. My A value is 2, so my amplitude is going to be 2. So I'm going to go up here. 2 units from my midline, we're going to draw another one. And 2 units down. This is a little bit tricky because we don't have a negative 5. So I'm just going to pretend my negative 5 is right here at the bottom of the arrow. Here at the bottom of the arrow, that's my negative 5. Now in your journal, if you want to write in a negative 5, just write in a negative 5. Make sure these are about the same distance apart from the midline. All right, step number 3. Step number 3, I'm going to figure out what the period is going to be. Okay? So there's a formula, 2 pi over b is going to be the value of the period. Now if you guys scroll up here and look at my b value is the number 1, so this is pretty easy. It's just 2 pi over 1, so my period is just 2 pi. So when I'm done with these, answers right here, I've got an amplitude that's equal to a 2. I've got a period that's 2 pi, and a vertical shift that's negative 3. Just going to take my answers, just write them up here. Vertical shift is a negative 3. My period is 2 pi. My amplitude is 2, which leaves me now for my phase shift. I always do my phase shift last. Okay, I try to get all the easy stuff taken care of, then I worry about my phase shift. So, this is something that's going to be new for everybody. So right here, step number 4, we're going to work on phase shift. Now there's a formula for phase shift. If you look carefully on your paper, there's a formula. Okay? And what's that formula? C divided by B. Now what was our C value? Our C value was negative pi over 2. And this time it's easy. What's our B value? It's just a 1. So our phase shift is actually negative pi over 2. Now, great. That's great. You have your phase shift, but what does that phase shift mean? We're going to talk about what that means. It's going to slide over. That graph's going to slide over negative pi over 2 to the left. That's what it's going to mean. So I'm going to show you what it looks like in the graphing calculator. So right up here, where it says phase shift, you guys can be assured that it is indeed a negative pi divided by 2. But I want you guys to go to your graphing calculators. I want you to see what a phase shift does. So right here, go to your graphing calculator, hit y equals. We're going to look at sine of x. Okay? But then what we're going to do is we're going to look at the sine of x plus pi divided by 2. I'm just investigating one thing right now. I'm not investigating amplitude. I'm not investigating the period. I'm not investigating the vertical shift. I'm just investigating the phase shift. Does everybody see how we have a theta plus pi over 2 in our parentheses? No. I'm going to change my window so it matches right here. That should be okay. I'm just going to go here and change this from a negative 2 to a positive so it's not as small. And I'm going to hit graph. There's your first one. There's your second. So what I want you guys to notice is that in this graph, this one started where? It started right there. But our next graph, the one that's in red, starts, think of it starting as right here. What's this shift from here to here? Negative pi over 2. This is adding negative pi over 2. This right here is technically at a 0, what? 0 pi. So it shifted which direction? It shifted going which direction? It shifted to the left. So watch what happens when I change color shift. Right? Go to y equals. I'm going to go here. I'm going to change it to go to green. I'm going to type in the sine of x, but this time I'm going to put minus 5 divided by 2. So what do you think is going to happen on this one? Shift to the right. I know there's a whole lot of graphs going on right here. So right here, see where this one starts? It went from this way going to the right. Pi over 2. So that's what we're going to be working on with this problem right here. This graph is going to shift which direction? Okay? It's going to go to the left pi over 2. So now we're going to type in everything. We're going to graph this. And we'll be done. So right here, we go to window. I'm going to keep everything the same. I'm just going to go from negative 5 to a positive 4. Hit y equals. Clear all these guys out. Austin, can you tell me my my function here? It says, I know it's 2 sine x plus pi divided by 2. Okay, minus 3. That's the one I want to remember. Because right now, if that says minus 3, I want everybody in their graphing calculators for the second equation put y2 equals negative 3. And when I do that, what's that going to draw in? Our midline. It's going to draw in our midline so we can graph things more accurately. There we go. There's the graph. Now watch my midline. Beautiful. So what we're going to do, take this right here and transfer it to your paper. What should you have on your paper? You should have a dotted line, well, not necessarily dotted, but some lines drawn like this, right? Also, right here, label this. I know it's time. Okay? This right here is at negative pi over 2. Make sure you put a point right there. Make sure you put another point right here at positive pi over 2. Over here at 3 pi over 2, put a point. Over here at negative 3 pi over 2, put a point. So I'm looking for all of these points on the midline, plus the highest point and the lowest point. This is what I'm going to be looking for on your paper. Your homework is to do problem number 4 on your own. Okay? We've done 1, 2, and 3. Your job is to do problem number 4. This is what your graph should look like on your paper for problem 3.